Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Armory, guys. We're going to do a quick collection tour today of everything on this wall. So I'll run through all the guns, give you a very quick rundown of each one. Then when you guys see my shorts and other content that use this wall as a backdrop, you'll see all those guns in the background and have the satisfaction of knowing what they all are. At least until I change it up, but then that'll necessitate a new video like this. So guys, let's get into it. Kicking things off up top with the B&T APC 308. Guys, this thing is something else. I've called various guns, ex-gun killer in the past, such as very recently, and very fittingly, yesterday's video, the review on the GHM9 Gen 2 Scorpion Killer. We also have the Saw Killer. That guy is tucked away in the safe. That's the MCR Fight Light, which is basically a belt-fed AR-15, and that thing is pretty wild. I've talked about that, how that's half the weight, half the price of a saw, and does a lot of really cool things. Anyways, if I had to pick one for the APC 308, it would be the Scar Killer. And I'm sure I'm going to get some flack in the comments over that, but hear me out. This thing is a very smooth semi-automatic. It's a precision gun. Of course, we've upgraded with a ACR stock because ACR stock, all the things. But in all seriousness, I think this is a significant contender. Nice metal lower. It is a reciprocating charging handle, but again, so is the Scar. I don't know. You guys, I'm hopefully going to get a Scar in here at some point, and then we can do a head-to-head, but that's one to keep your eye on. Then over here, we have the very formidable Arctic Warfare Super Magnum by Accuracy International. That's the famed AWM's big bro in 338 Lapua Magnum, topped up with a ZCO optic. Love those things. Then we have a little HK. This is a G36C, which stands for compact. Oh, Commando is more cool. This one has a 300 blackout barrel. I just finished up a video series on this guy prior to the video series on the GHM9. Go check that out if you want to learn more. Again, in my video series, I do shooting as well, build videos. That one we built from a bare receiver. So lots of good stuff in there. Go check it out. Then we'll pass by these guys a quick second. We got an MG42 in the corner. It's an original Steyr gun from, I think it's a 1943 manufacturer. Just really slick. Then we'll get to this guy. Then, like the nicest in 1911 I've ever handled. This is a Nighthawk Customs Agent 2. Look at that. Beautiful. Belongs to one of the owners of Black Box Customs. And man, it's a 9mm. If that triggers you, go ahead, be triggered, ya boomer. But honestly, 9mm, it's beautiful. You have to shoot it to believe it. Yes, I like 1911s and 45 too. I understand God's caliber, all that kind of stuff, right? But I don't care. I like my 9, so deal with it. Then a bunch more beauties from Black Box Customs. Another owner of Black Box Customs. This is his personal Glock 17 done up. Again, kind of have to lend it to me for some shooting and some enjoyment as I slowly educate myself on the vast world of custom polymer handguns. Man, it's crazy, but big thanks to Jay for that. Then an M&P 2.0, again, all decked out. I've never had an M&P before. This thing, I really like it. I did a short on this thing talking about it, going through some of its features. It's really freaking cool. I would happily have one of these, or just not send it back to Jay. But if I really had to pick one not to send back, it would be this guy here. It's a Gen 4 Glock 17. I love this thing. This thing is my favorite Glock I've ever handled. It's beautiful. I love the camel Cerakote. I love the agency goodies on it. The Zev stuff. It's just, this is a really sweet, sweet piece. So I don't know, Jay, that might fall out of the box on my way to the post. Then we have an HK SFP9 or VP9, depending on what country you're in. That's really nice. Again, done up by them. Look at this stipple. And super comfortable. Very comfortable gun. Another one that I really liked. This one was originally made for an IPSC shooter up here. Logan Martin, it was his original gun, traded it in for something else, and I got to handle it for a little bit. That I did a video on called the Go Fest Glock. Ran through all the features on it, and it is, again, just they're all super awesome guns. A little baby Glock here. Single stack, 9mm. Also really nice. These little shield RDS sights, they're so light you don't even realize that they're there. But all right, we're Glocked out. Now, the ACR. This thing is, well, I call it the ACR 2.0 because this one's all decked out with components from my buddy Dana at Temple Precision. He's got a metal lower here that you could actually put grips on. I like my ergos on there. And then a Remington Defense inspired handguard, which is really cool. Of course, the ACR stock. This is where the ACR stock comes from. Probably the defining legacy of this gun that has just been picked up and dropped so many times. Though apparently Bushmaster's bringing it up. They recently said they are perfecting the ACR and will be bringing it back soon. So of course, as an ACR fanboy, I'm excited about that. So cannot lie about that. It's going to be cool. I look forward to eventually getting my hands on one. Then we've got the little Clobby Clob for all my GoldenEye bros out there. That's probably 30% of the reason I'm into guns today is that old game on the N64. Man, good times. Well, actually, the true designation is a VZ61. It's a Czech-made pistol. This one, however, being made in Serbia called the M84. But we're going to rectify that with some good old fun switch VZ61s before too much longer. Next up, we have something of a custom Galil, micro Galil. This one's done by Icon Weapons in North Carolina now. And this one is all finished up in titanium nitride. Why did I do that? Well, I guess I just thought a gold AK was a bit mainstream these days, a little unoriginal. So we went with a golden Galil. They actually did this on their own, and I kind of fell in love with the design. That was pretty darn cool. And this is a semi-automatic kind of custom Galil, so I figured, you know what? Let's just go for it. They're built off ex-IDF parts kits, but they do use a brand new manufacturer, USA receiver, and barrel, and possibly a couple other small things, but they are really cool. It's actually got the Colombian furniture, which is kind of neat. But I may have also found a real deal micro Galil overseas, and that may be making its way over here in the medium term. As a fun anecdote, my buddy Richard over at Movie Armaments Group, for him, the micro Galil is his favorite Galil of the bunch. This is basically the last Galil that came about before the Galil Ace took over with IWI. That's the current iteration of the long-standing tried and true platform. But yeah, first of all, you had the ARM and the AR, and then the SAR, short automatic rifle. And then you had the MAR, the Galil MAR, or Galil Micro. MAR actually stands for Micro Automatic Rifle or Micro Assault Rifle, depending on which internet source you use. But it is super cool, and if I had to pick a ditch, I would say it's my favorite Galil as well. Though I am looking forward to getting a real deal OG one with the, if you know what I mean. Then, ooh la Lottie. We have the Lottie L39. This is a Finnish anti-tank rifle. This thing fires this thing, man. 20 by 138, 20 millimeter by 138 millimeter. Pretty wild and crazy. This is like 3 times the power of a 50 BMG. When I found this gun and realized I could own it as a civilian, I thought it was the coolest gun that I could get my hands on. But usually I need to get a buddy's hands on it too, because this thing weighs a frig ton at over 110 pounds. Though I'm happy to say I managed to get it up on this wall all by myself. And also very happy that this Galiltech wall is rocking it, holding up a ton of weight between the Lottie and the Ma Deuce beneath it. That one wall panel is holding like 200 pounds of guns. So kudos, Galiltech, you make a good system. Then of course we have one of my favorites. I would consider this the modern era scout rifle, probably one of the most practical firearms you could own if you just wanted a do-all everything gun. Again, I did a full video series on this thing a couple months ago. This is the Fix rifle by Q, and man, now I just can't wait for its little brother, the Mini Fix, to arrive, because I think I need to get my hands on one of those as well. Up from there, we got a custom little Serbu Shorty. It's been lengthened slightly, and this is just to comply with Canadian laws, so that this remains a nice little bush gun that I can take out and run around with while using the PDW stock, kind of a Sage EBR style stock. Thanks to my buddy Simon Beeson at S&J Hardware for doing all the custom work on that, including the custom thread-on extender to work with the barrel that I needed to meet minimum overall length requirements. Next up, to a gun that we owe a lot, the Armory AR-18 and 180. This gun led, while it was kind of a commercial failure itself, it led to so many other successes, including the British SA-80, which also was kind of a failure, but other things like the G36, the front-end gas system that went on to be used in the 416 and 417 as well, and the beloved Sig MCX and Virtus lines. It's very much so based on both the short stroke piston system that's used inside here, as well as the recoil system inside the Action. That allows this thing to be fired with a folding stock and just have a readily available folding stock. Then there's this little cutie that I got recently. I've literally wanted one of these ever since I was a little kid and I first saw Bad Boys 1. Definitely was too young when I first saw that thing, but at the end of the movie, the final shootout scene after the bad guy friggin' wrecks a beautiful Shelby Cobra. Literally my dream car, just smokes it total. I mean, it was kind of Martin Lawrence. I think Martin Lawrence was driving because he kind of ran the guy off the road, but they just smoked the Shelby. Anyways, the guy's walking away and crawling away basically at this point out of a wreck, and he like takes a shot with one of these guys where he goes to take a shot. He just gets smoked, which was probably deserved for wrecking that beautiful Shelby. But you see this gun just for a moment, and ever since then I fell in love with it. I remember these 4 distinct barrels. It's just really cool. This thing's chambered in .357 Magnum, and I have to say, this thing friggin' hurts to shoot. It is punishing to shoot. It's all like stainless steel, so it's a little brick in the hand, and there's not much. It's just, it murders this part of your thumb. But I'm a fan. It's, by the way, it's called a COP 357, COP Industries. Compact Off-Duty Police was the official model number, and that was a major tangent on just something that's kind of near and dear to me. Then we have this interesting contraption. This is a Spanish Mauser derivative. It's an FR9, and it's not a semi-automatic, though this is actually kind of, there's a reason for this. We'll get into it when I do an actual video on this gun. But it has a trench mag, and it is chambered in 7.62 NATO, which is really cool. This is just a fun, handy little gun. It's quite short for what it is. It also has a threaded muzzle, 15mm thread pitch, like a European thread pitch. So you can like actually you could put a suppressor on. That'd be, this thing needs to be suppressed. That'd be very cool. But this trench mag kind of has no business being on here. It would be designed for an 8mm Mauser, which is 7.92mm, which some of you guys so annoyingly just berate me for in the comments whenever I say 8mm Mauser. Nonetheless, this is kind of a neat holdover just to increase the capacity of a traditional Mauser rifle. Doesn't work amazing in here. My buddy's got one of these and also has one set up with a trench mag, and he ran his through pretty well. Had a couple of feeding issues, but it's cool. Then we got this gun up here, which is just chillin' like the Chilean it is. It's an SG542 made by FAMEA, which is a licensed reproduction of the Sig SG542. Got one of those in the big old safe back there. If you check out my short from yesterday, you would have seen it next to the G3. But there, that's a little treasure hunt for you guys if you want to see that right now. Really nice gun. These are kind of popular in Canada because of their legal designation. And they're quite nice rifles. Again, old school tech, but nice guns. Above that, we have an Israeli FAL. This is a light barrel. There's also a heavy barrel that was actually in one of the few FALs that were intended to be fired full auto. That one has a flash hider and a big bipod. We have one of those coming soon from Movie Armand's group. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, so it's Belgian-made receiver, but the Israelis did all of their own other components. And it's a very unique looking gun. Some people love it, some people hate it. I personally am quite a fan, so. Then another Israeli gun that's much less known. This is the Dror, D-R-O-R. This was very early. This is like late 40s this thing came about. And it is based on the technical data package of the Johnson light machine gun. Very similar, like internally the mechanism, the way the receiver separates. Use the same short stroke piston. The barrels are very similar. It's a quick change barrel system actually. These ones are chambered in 8mm Mauser. Deal with it. And even the stock back there, it's actually the same pattern stock you would find on the later, I think 1944 pattern Johnson light machine gun. So pretty cool. It kicks. It kicks just like the Johnson is known to kick. And these were, while they did really well in trials, they didn't do well at all in service, so they were pretty quickly shelved. They only made a few thousand of them. So this is a Type 2. There's also a Type 1 that is chambered in 303 of all things and looks more like a Johnson. It has a big side winged out magazine. But alas, I digress. Then we have 2 early experimental Canadian FALs. They're Belgian made. We have the EX1 back here and the EX2 with this cool little optic. And those are just chilling here until I can finish the builds on those. I need lowers. Up top in the back, we've got the little Diablo by PWS, little 7.75 inch 5.56 long stroke piston, guys. That thing has a long stroke piston in it, like an AK. Very reliable, adjustable gas block. Honestly, in my opinion, Dean Sylvester, the lead designer engineer behind that gun and the owner of PWS, did a fantastic job with that thing. Then we have an RPG-7 because why not? Usually it's sitting right up there on the wall, but I felt it would be a little more visually distinctive right here. So here it is, and that's an RPG-7. Oh, kind of forgot, there's an MG34 on the ground over there, so for whatever that's worth, that's there. Also, I don't know if I mentioned there's an M2 there. I think I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. I've split this video a couple times at this point because I've rambled a couple times too long and I've sometimes forgotten what guns I've already covered. Then we got a Browning 30 cal, 1919 A4. This guy's in 30-06. If you guys like the movie Fury, you guys will see a decent amount of use of a Browning 30 cal in that movie. So I'd recommend checking that out if you want to see one of those in fake action, as basically a movie. But it's good. It's a good movie. Then finally over here, the little mare's leg. This is my first gun. This is a little Henry 22 mare's leg. And it's a fun gun. This is usually when I show someone new how to shoot. This is the gun I give them to begin with. This or a Ruger SR22, something like that usually. But that one is just so much fun. So soft shooting, quite quiet. A great gun to teach people the fundamentals of shooting with. And then that's pretty much it. We got the Vickers. And then this wall over here, which is basically full of AKs. If you want to hear me name these, I did recently a little short called All My AKs, which was technically a lie. There are more hiding in there, and no, there's no more there. But they're here in that short, or you can actually learn about the RPKs of the World Volume 1 that I also released a few days ago, last week sometime. So recommend checking that one out again. It's a good video. Anyways, guys, with that, quick shout out to Vickers Guide. These things are awesome. Just ordered a bunch more from those guys. On the weekend, they're going to have their AK Volume 1 reprints in soon. And to Dixon Flannels, because these things are awesome. And I wear them for most of my videos, just as I wear them for most things in my life. Thanks a ton, guys. Catch you in the next one. Arm&Gun out. PPS, if you're still here, I did a video recently. It was another Ultimate Gunroom installation, episode number 4, which was the benefits and applications of gun walls. So I actually went pretty good detail, give you guys a lot of tips and tricks on gun walls, all the benefits that they have outside of just looking friggin' cool. So if you want to check that out and learn more, here's the video. See ya.